So I'm here with His Excellency, Mr. Wamkale Mene, the Chairman of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. Sir, you just came off the panel and we were just bantering about how there's never enough time for you to discuss everything.
Yes.
And I think the many conferences I've attended, you're always there. Whenever we're discussing Africa, we cannot leave you out. Big event in Cairo, last year, fantastic. On the back end of that, because I know that's a reference that I can make, and what's happening here in the Bahamas. How do you tie in the success of the goals we're trying to achieve for the continent with free trade?
Well, I think we've made, as I said in the last session,
panel, yeah.
we've made substantial progress in 4 years to establish rules for a single market, for a common market. That's always the starting point.
Right.
The second important aspect which we have tried to do is to introduce tools that will enable commercially meaningful trade to happen under the agreement.
Right.
So, for example, what we are doing with Afreximbank on payments, making sure that payments is cost effective and is available to as many small, medium enterprises, youthful entrepreneurs as possible to take advantage of this huge market.
I like the idea you talked on the young, on small SMEs, and inclusivity above everything. Because I think that's one of the things that we leave behind when we talk of Africa's success. We can talk of the big companies. Right now I've got Mr. Aliko Dangote on the stage, but we have so many that are starting up that have like small businesses, and in terms of like the investment they have to put into their companies and into their business, even registering their companies, there's still so many bottlenecks there. What have you done to achieve that, to help those that are struggling at the very most fundamental, smallest level?
We have to start with the rules. To introduce rules that will eliminate the barriers that these segments have been confronted with. And so we've done that. We have a protocol on women and youth in trade. So we identify specific challenges that they have. And then we introduce rules that will codify into legally binding obligations all of the aspirations that we have for youth. Second, we have to work with the youth, which we're doing now. We have to work with young people to introduce a specific tailored preferential trade regime for them.
Right.
So, for example, young entrepreneurs in East Africa want to expand to West Africa.
Right.
How do we make sure that we identify value chains, supply chain networks, trade finance that will enable them to make that expansion into the next market that they would have identified. Concrete steps, commercially meaningful, enabling market to access.
And above everything, surely it's also quality, right? We want their products to be able to compete at a global level. That when I go shopping in a supermarket, for example, I'm going to pick the dishwashing liquid that's locally made versus what we know to be international. We want their products to compete at that level and make sure that they can price and have the value. You talk of the value chain, but are they meeting those standards?
Absolutely. The market, of course, we will not determine what the value of a product should be. But what we do determine is harmonization of rules, so that the same product that is made in this region of the continent and that region of the continent, that there are harmonized rules, standards to enable market access.
Got it.
As to the local content, we are creating made in the AfCFTA because we want to ensure that it is not just an AfCFTA market at law, that it is an AfCFTA market also commercially in people's minds to know that this is made in the AfCFTA
and making it a trusted product.
Making it a trusted product that is associated with the harmonization of rules, quality that we want to see.
And of course, African pride. I won't take much more of your time. You are a busy man. Thank you so much for that. And we'll see more of you tomorrow.
Indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.